I am not gay. I am not gay.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Has she gone or is she here? Kathleen Kennedy's employment status is queer.
For the players.
What are you doing?
Adjusting your breasts. You fainted and they shifted all out of whack. There.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's really ready to go.
Okay, Cecily! Okay, Cecily! Okay, Cecily!
Take me by the hand, take me by the hand,
Okay, Cecily!
take me by the hand, take me by the hand.
Okay, Cecily!
He, him, they, them. He, him, they, them. Some people just call me Fluffy. Me by the hand. The ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man. What the fuck is he wearing? It's not Halloween. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man.
Okay, Cecily!
Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man. My God, am I bending the head? Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man. Oh my God, like yeah. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man. Hey darling, you can smile more. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man. That's what we fucking do. Fuck off! Ooh, take me by the hand. Ooh, Mr. Ocean Man. Ooh, take me by the hand. Ooh, Mr. Ocean Man. Yeah, she is all gangrenous. That's cute, you massive fucking soy cock. He, him, they, them. Superficial bollocks. He, him, they, them. Spider monkey fucker. Some people just call me Fluffy. Holy shit. Yard, 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 yard. It's Captain Gay. Yes, of course it's Captain Gay. Yard, 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 yard. It's really ready to go. You're some Hollywood horse bitch. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, kitty fuck. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man,
Okay, Cecily!
ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, bring on my quad, your main balls. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, oh my God, like yeah. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, beat him into submission. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, yada 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 yada. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, you got me. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, so fucking crazy. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, fuck off. Fire, fire, big pants flyer. One of them. So that went well. Let's move on. She's like, it's so. Oh look, what a coincidence. God damn, I hate this thing. I can't say the word tampon. Who There is nothing I love more. Taking my headphones off, fuck that. Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to fire up a brand new RPG, lose myself.
Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what?
Fucking pronouns! I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every fucking conceivable opportunity so you can fucking current day us. Current fucking day! Fuck off! We can't see past our own fucking reflection. That's the level of our narcissism here at Bethesda. Twat waffle! That's all you fucking are! Twat waffle! Fuck off! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day Californian shit! Cause that's all we fucking know! Cause we're boring! We're so fucking boring! You're boring! You're fucking dull! You have nothing to say! Fuck your immersion! Guess what? Fucking pronouns! You take everything we love and you just can't help! Shovel! You are bullshit! Fucking crap! Ideology into everything! Every single solitary fucking thing! Well, chat, chitty chat, chitty chat, chit chat, chew, chitty chat. Chat, I gotta be honest with you. It's like, where do you even start today? Because this is afternoon tea with us. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. And normally, when I do an afternoon tea, we got things set up to talk about. We've got, I mean, obviously we have today, but we've got, you know, like fun, silly, goofy stuff to talk about. We'll have a poke and a laugh at stuff. We'll talk about how crap the TV is, particularly Alien Earth and Peacemaker, by the way, which were both an absolute joke this week. And that's saying something. And that really is saying something. And then an event like this happens, you know, the assassination of Charlie Kirk this week. And it's just such a bizarre thing. I mean, I was on Ripping a Silverback live with Eric when the news came in of the shot. And you know, you're in shock yourself, and you just don't know how to really react. And there's obviously a lot of immediate anger, which I just gotta say hasn't really dissipated. And that's certainly more to do with the response by a group of people who are really showing you exactly who they are. And so you try to do your regular stuff. You know, I did a video game stream last night. I did some Borderlands for 5 odd hours or so, and you know, kept it as light as possible. We touched on it a couple of times, but kept it as light as possible. And just I think this week the best way to describe it is you really got a look at the rot of the West and how deep it is and how entrenched it is, and how the people who claim that they are the party of progress, they're the party of empathy, they're the party of tolerance, are the exact reverse of everything that they profess to be. They have shown themselves to be vile, disgusting. They want you dead. And that's been apparent in the cheering of what happened.
And it was only a few years ago, remember, that Gina Carano was fired from Disney because, and it wasn't because of the tweet that she put up. They were going after her as soon as she did the beep bop boop. That's what got them. The fail to capitulate, to put pronouns in the bio, the failure of Gina Carano to join the cult. But the post that they decided to jump upon and get her removed for was when she stressed that the coercion of vile people, shall we just say, certainly in positions of power, because it's not just government, it's entertainment, it's education, it's everywhere. They will twist and turn your neighbors, and so your neighbors will be the first ones to turn on you. And we saw it in real time this week, exactly who those people are. We got a good whiff of it during COVID. But this was exceedingly mask off. And every week, the final bit of intro is the pronoun rant. The pronoun rant that I did. And this isn't, by the way, a make it about me. It's just a frightening realization. That's all. Because when I did the initial rant and Dan put it up on social media, and obviously there's a lot of people that cheered it on. There was a lot of people that got mad because, you know, this guy is going against the sacred cow. But what was the first thing that the act man called for? It was for me to be shot. It was for me to be shot with a tranquilizer gun. Somebody shoot this, whatever it was, gorilla. Hence the birth of the silverback, by the way. That was the first thing that was he said. Somebody shoot this guy with a tranq. And at the time, of course, you kind of like, that's some pretty reckless language you're using there, particularly when you're dealing with tapped in the head people, because you are, and they are. And for that, I would say a couple of so weeks after the event, you were a little bit on high alert. Like when I was out and about, I was a little bit on high alert. You kind of being a little bit more mindful of your surroundings because you do get comfortable, obviously, where you live. And then it passes, of course, and you get back to your regular day. But you just think to yourself, just what if one person had acted on it just like they did? What if one person had acted on it? And that's the problem. And that's a big problem that we have seen in, I mean, I would say probably the last 9 or so years, maybe even, let's just for argument's sake say the last decade or so. And we have discussed it in previous streams, but the most worrying thing that we've seen is the dehumanization of people that the left disagree with. And J.K. Rowling is just such an amazing example of this, because this is a complete and utter fucking lefty. Is J.K. complete and utter fucking lefty. But the straw that broke the donkey's back with her was men in dresses coming into women's spaces. Men in dresses coming into women's restrooms, toilets, changing rooms, etc. Which I 100% agree should not be there. And so the one thing, probably the one thing that she's out of step with these weirdos, they want her gone. They want her gone. I mean, what was one of the first reactions to this heinous event this week? One of the first reactions from a lot of people was, they're not, I mean, we say people and you don't want to play the dehumanization game back on them, but they are demons. They got no soul. There is no soul here. Is they were calling for who next? Let's do this person next. Let's do that person next. Oh, it is very much a cult. A death cult. Not just any cult, a death cult. And so when they immediately call for who's next, and they do it with such casualness, such nonchalance, and the fact that they are posting this out in the open shows you exactly how zero fear they have. Zero fear. Because they're so used to the establishment protecting them. And so they can post this. Now, that's why we've seen so much shock from them when they've started to be fired from their jobs. That's why they're so shocked, because they understand how protected they are. They understand how safe they are. They are so safe that they can post on a forum for everybody to see. Yeah, can we do this guy next? That's how safe they are. This isn't a vulnerable minority. This is a vicious and savage protected cult. And it's been so hard this week not to completely black pill. Because we always try so hard to remain optimistic, upbeat. If this company's doing this and we don't like it, move on. Let's move on. You know, create your own stuff. Or watch this because this is great, you know, etc. But this isn't just about the assassination of a man. And to all intent, you know, I've watched a lot of Charlie Kirk. It was actually a nice thing to watch, to be honest with you. It was a really cool thing to watch because, you know me, I don't know if you're aware of this, chat, but I can get a wee bit hot-headed. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. But I can get a wee bit hot-headed at times. I have been known to. Yeah, no, seriously. No, I know. There's a lot of people in chat that go, what? No, seriously, yeah. It has been known. And when I like to relax, you know, I like to watch a bit of true crime, stuff like that. But it was nice to kind of like go through Charlie Kirk's reels on Instagram. It was just cool to watch him go to these places, have people engage him in discourse. And if you watch, and this is the sad reality, because you'd watch them and you'd kind of get a giggle out of it because there was, you know, there's a lot of dumb people out there. Ill-prepared people haven't really got a clue what they're talking about. And so, yeah, of course it's fun when you see them get absolutely slapped down. When they have their belief system, which, can I just stress, isn't their belief system at all. It's a belief system which they've been told to believe in. They haven't really thought about it. They don't really understand it. They don't know the nuance of it. And so when they're challenged on it, they tend to fall apart. But it's so weird to watch it. Just I saw it today in a slightly different light, or certainly this week, should I say, in a slightly different light. Because if you watch those reels that gave you a bit of a giggle and whatnot, if you watch those reels, Charlie always conducts himself really, really well indeed. He's respectful. But you look at the way that he was treated consistently by the people that came up on the mic. Very angry, ignorant, dumb, uneducated people that have got themselves attached to a death cult that they don't even stand. I'm going to go up and I'm going to pwn Charlie Kirk. My ego said so because I have the belief system of this death cult. And then you get up there and you're made to look like an absolute fool because guess what? You're an absolute fool. We've seen people take swipes at him before. And every time it does it, how does he react? Cool, calm, respectful. And every time somebody would just start hurling insults at him, screaming at him, how would he respond? Let's talk. Let's talk. That's the kind of guy that earned himself an assassination. It's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. Because he went into the belly of the beast. He went into the education systems of today, where these people are going to grow up to be the politicians of tomorrow, the engineers of tomorrow, the alleged scientists. Does science even fucking exist nowadays? I don't know. Scientists of tomorrow. And universities, that place you go where probably for the first real time in your life, you have your belief systems challenged. Whatever those belief systems be, they could be very basic indeed. But you go there and it should be a melting point, or melting pot, I should really say, sorry. A melting pot of different people, different cultures, different areas. You might see people that you've never really had any sort of interactions before with. And that could be a race thing. It could be a sexuality thing. They're not there to be these. They certainly weren't meant to be these indoctrination camps, which they do appear to be. These radicalization camps. I mean, for all intents and purposes, you looked at the shooter's family and you start to scratch your head. Father, law enforcement, mother somehow connected with law enforcement as well, I believe. Seemed to grow up in a good household. Got himself a $32,000 scholarship. Goes off to university, and in those 3 years, suddenly finds himself shacked up with a guy transitioning to a woman. I mean, you can't transition to a woman; it's impossible because you can't change your chromosomes. You can mutilate yourself. And then this happens. And you just got to shake your fucking head. You just got to shake your head. I mean, in not SMH. I mean, literally just shake your head, because it's disbelief. It's disbelief that somebody could go through, a good family life, and for all intents and purposes, that looks like how it was. It didn't look like it had any fucking demons growing up in that regard, and goes off to an indoctrination camp, shacks up with a dude that wants to be a female, and lo and behold, he's on a rooftop shooting bullets at Charlie Kirk. As if that's a normal fucking progression cycle of life. Fascist on the bullet. I just want to give the definition that they are providing for fascism here. Fascism is a far-right, authoritarian, and ultra-nationalist political ideology and movement that rose to prominence in 20th century Europe. Does that describe Charlie Kirk? No. Not in the slightest. But these people will say absolutely did. And for all the sickness of the people who are celebrating this death, I guarantee you, 99% most likely have never ever seen anything to do with Charlie Kirk. All of their information has come from the people they speak to and the websites that they frequent, or most likely the forums that they frequent. But as regards to actually watching him, listening, and I've this is just a theory, but I think a lot of the this anger comes from the fact that they're scared. They're really fucking scared that if they truly did listen, then this death cult, this belief system which they have attached themselves to, might actually fall apart. And that would destroy their whole fucking world. It's insane. That's what I think scares them. I don't know if it's sunk cost fallacy, because I don't think there's too much that really goes into it. I think it's more that they have literally been indoctrinated into a cult. And when you're involved in a cult, one of the first things you do is you fear the people around you. They never talk about that. They never really discuss that in a cult. But in a cult, the first people you fear are the people who are around you. And it therefore becomes almost like a wave of committee together. Once one's in, two's in, three's in. And it's like a tsunami, a brainless tsunami that starts washing across. And it is pretty crazy. Well, there's a bunch of crazy people here involved in this whole thing. But we're not even seeing like a fringe group of people who are celebratory of this. We're seeing politicians, mainstream media, CEOs of companies. Tim Sweeney, CEO of Epic Games, doesn't seem to understand the difference between free speech and consequence. And I said that I'd speak a little bit more about this today because this was brought up in yesterday's gaming stream, but I wanted to bring this up. Tim Sweeney of Epic Games says, what amendment says, I'll bring it up here actually, because he's a dumb fuck. What amendment says you can't diss someone? Not seeing it here. No, there's no amendment that says you can't diss somebody. You can choose, because like I said earlier in the stream, people are posting all kinds of shit, hideous shit, because they feel there's no consequence. They feel protected. They feel safe on the platforms that they're posting. These are our platforms. These are our people. We will be protected. That's why we're seeing some of the most vile, disgusting posts go up. Now, you have every right to do that. You have every right. America, I should really say, Americans do, because you do have the First Amendment, the right of free speech. You do have the Bill of Rights. Okay? So you can choose to post this. And you have that right to do so. But you don't have the right of the consequences from what you post. If a company employs you, companies have codes of conduct, codes of ethics. And when you join a company, you sign a contract with that company that most likely has a clause in it about code of conduct. It tends to be a big subheading in the contract that you sign. So you can post the most hideous of things, but it doesn't mean that you're safe from the consequences of what you post. Now, the consequences depend on who the person is, of course, because if you're Tim Sweeney, it looks like if you posted it at Epic Games, you'd be absolutely fine. But another corporation, they might just say, do you know what? This isn't somebody that we want representing our brand. And they have absolutely every right to do so. And if they therefore deem that you have breached the code of ethics, the code of conduct, then you will be fired. Now, what you've posted will stay there because you have your First Amendment right. But the consequence of that lays in the hands of those other people who are in your life, your friends, your family, maybe even, and your employment. So free speech doesn't protect you from consequences. And all the people who are crying about being fired, and there's a lot of people who are being fired right now, and I won't even pretend to say that I have any sympathy for them because I have zero. Zero. But you see the reaction to that, and you see them crying, and you see them mad. And by the way, it's really fun to see the ones where they're mad, you know, after they've set their camera up to record the TikTok. So they get the stand out, they set up the phone, they switch it around, press the record button, get into place. Am I in good shot? Right, okay. Because it's performative fucking theater. It's narcissism. It's me. So it's funny to see the people melting down who have been fired from their jobs and not understanding. And it makes me laugh because I'm just like, to the ones who are genuinely, not the ones who have set up their cameras, etc. But to the ones who are genuinely trying to get that name one right there. You feel that twinge of emotion that you just had, that sadness that you just had, that there is called regret. That's called regret. Now, I am not saying in any capacity that you cannot criticize Charlie Kirk. There are plenty of people who are friends with him that disagreed with certain elements that he said, and he disagreed with elements that they said. That's called fucking life. So you've every right to criticize the man. If you don't agree with him, you've got every right to do that whatsoever. Nobody's saying, and we said this on FNT, but it's true. Nobody's saying that if you didn't like the guy or you didn't agree with the guy, nobody's saying that you have to put a post out saying, God bless Charlie Kirk or whatever like that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Again, I'm not gonna be disingenuous here. There are plenty of people that if they drop dead tomorrow, I would. I'd have no good words to say for them in my head, and I wouldn't mourn their loss. But I'm not going to go online and start celebrating their fucking death. It's not as if it's fucking Hitler that just got fucking killed or whatever. It's not like the free world just suddenly got opened up again. But you've every right to disagree. I keep saying this, but it's true. I don't agree with my mum half the time. I certainly don't agree with other members of my family politically. Not that that should be a thing. And does that prevent us from having great relationships together? No. Because it's not the be all and end all. It's not all consuming. There's so much more. But if you choose, if you make a conscious decision to post some macabre thing, relishing, yeah, I want to see if this is still up, and I do want to show this, but because we talk about a fucking sickness, but there is I've just got to find out which. Oh, I think it's this one. Yeah, this is the one. This to me is psychopathy. What I'm going to show you. This is psychopathy. This is not right. This is not normal behavior. Oh, let's do that first. So
I have.
Let me just get my headphones on for this. This chat. This is not real. Hey Dan, how you doing, dude? Look at this. This is absolutely not real.
I have breaking news. We think that Charlie Kirk just got shot in the neck. Hey, ooh, ah, ooh. Cut the music. Cut the music. In real talk.
No. You just showed your real talk. You just showed your real talk. You've already done it. You've just been dancing around for 24 seconds, celebrating, using the music, celebrate. That's your real talk right there. Now you're going to put the mask on and you're going to pretend, but they do it through a smirk.
I'm not truly celebrating that he got shot in the neck. I think it's really sad for his family because I know he was a father. And
look at that. The eyes light up. They've got little smiles at the corner of the mouth. This is psychopathy. This is psychopathy. See, that's not. Of course, she say, "Oh, I feel bad for his family." Her eyes are all fucking lit up. Yeah, shut up. You're being a fucking obnoxious twat. I'll get rid of you if you are. Saying not your fucking stream, mate. If you want to be a fucking annoying little bell end, fuck off. Actual fact, you can fuck off for a day. Fuck off. Bellend. Nothing normal about that at all. Nothing normal. And these are the same people that start crying when they're fired from their respective jobs. Now, I think by the looks of it, the only thing that she'd fire herself from is probably OnlyFans. So I think that job might be safe. Just speculating there. Just speculating. But it's the same people who are posting this ghoulish stuff. And then they're going, wait, what? Wait, what? There's a consequence? There's a consequence to what I did? There's clapback to what I did? How? Aren't we protected? Aren't we protected? Aren't we allowed? Aren't we on the right side of history? How many times have we fucking heard that nonsense? Aren't we on the right side of history? I want to be on the right side of history. The group of people that always go around shooting others that want to actually engage you in conversation. That apparently is the right side of history. It's so, for normal people anyway, for normal people, you look at this behavior and you do despair. You know, these are the people on the right side of history. How many times did Pedro Pascal in recent times keep talking about saying, I want to be on the right side of history? Anybody that professes to say the right side of history, you're not on it because you're trying to convince yourself. You're not convincing anyone else. You're trying to convince yourself. Nobody that thinks they're on the right side of history goes around parading, we're on the right side of history. No man who says he is king is a true king. Or whatever it was from Tywin Lannister. Yeah, David Tennant said it too again. And what they do, they convince themselves. But they're not just convincing themselves. They're also trying to tell the other members of the death cult, I'm one of you. Hey, death cult members, I'm one of you. I'm on the right side of history. Yeah, that is definitely a Pedro we're not voting for. Do not vote that, Pedro. So yeah, there's a lot of confused people out there wondering how they can be fired. Why have I been fired for saying some of the most ghoulish celebratory thing? Because here, let me bring this up. I brought this article up as well. Now, this article was posted yesterday. Kirk's assassination was on Wednesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So this is around 4 days after the death of Charlie Kirk. And here's The Guardian. And this is what The Guardian has to say. Several people fired after clampdown on speech over Charlie Kirk shooting. Teachers, firefighters, military personnel amongst those who have lost jobs after posting their opinion. Posting their opinion. Now, it's weird because a lot of these people's opinions have been calling for a genocide, a culling, a cleansing of what they perceive to be the right. And as I've said in videos, if you've seen my videos over the last couple of days, anything to them, right of Stalin is far right. These people are fucking mental. So anything right of insane far left is right. Plenty of kind of classic liberals, centrists, they're now far right, according to these absolute fucking mentalists. I know Ricky Hatton passed away at 46. It's very sad. Great boxer, by the way. But the way that the verbiage that they use, posting their opinions. What? Like, who's next? Can we do this? And I don't want to invoke any names when I do that. We know the people that they've been calling for to be next. I don't want to invoke any names because we're not dealing with normal people here. They've been calling for cleansings. They've been calling for genocide. They've been calling for, well, and then they've been specifically calling for this person, that person to be next. But they're just posting their opinion. Now, again, even if we play their game, even if we play their silly little game, you can post your opinion. Now, by the way, depending on which country you're in, there will be different consequences, because if you post about a purging or a cleansing or delete this person in the UK, then that's incitement to violence and you can find yourself arrested, particularly under the Online Safety Act of 2023. But you can post, let's just use America as an example, because America, of course, does have the Constitution, does have the Bill of Rights, does have the First Amendment. You can post your opinion, but it doesn't protect you from the consequence of that post. Free speech isn't a fucking impregnable bubble. Free speech allows you to say what you want, but it doesn't protect you from the consequence of what you've said. So if you are a representative of a company, a group of people, and they deem that what you've said goes against the code of conduct, the code of ethics, goes against the principles of that organization, then you are in breach of that contract. You have committed what would be classed as most likely gross misconduct, and you can be fired from your positions, which you are seeing. And if you are a military personnel, if you are a teacher, if you are a firefighter, you, in some of those, you're responsible for molding the minds of tomorrow. You're responsible for saving people from death. And you're tasked with protecting your nation. So if you are posting about agreeing with the genocide, cheering it on, cheering the death of somebody that wanted to engage you in conversation, calling for the next person to go, then you don't deserve to hold any of those positions, and you are quite rightly fired. And I'd say this if it was on the other fucking side of the equation as well. I don't know how many times I have to say this personally. Not that it matters to anything. And I say this with love, chat. Not that it's any of your business either. Just like it won't be my business. But my politics are my own business. I've never voted right in my fucking life. I've always considered myself to be left-leaning. Always. But I do not recognize anything whatsoever to do with these people who claim to be on the right side of history. Nothing. Not one single solitary thing about them comes across as fucking normal. Yeah, unfortunately, Gordon, that was the first time I was able to vote. And that was the first way that my vote went in 97. And that was the beginning of the end. Again, but your politics are your own business. You don't have to wear them on a sleeve. You don't have to forge your life around it. Holy shit, I can't think of anything more boring than fucking politics. It's a cesspit. It's a fucking cesspit. In my life, I have seen the Conservatives in power. I've seen Labour in power. I've seen the Conservatives in power. I've seen Labour back in power. I've seen a coalition government. I've seen a lot. And do you know what I haven't seen? Anything that ever fucking changed. Apart from the fact that bills got fucking higher. That's the only, taxes got more. That's the only fucking thing I've ever seen in my life, regardless of what fucking government was in power. Have I ever fucking, could I ever fucking say, oh yeah, things are amazing now? No! I've never seen a fucking difference. This bill's going up. Council tax is going up. Your tax is going up. Blah, blah, blah's going up. This is going up. Food's going up. The cost of living's going up. I haven't seen a fucking change ever. Because politics isn't about solving problems. It's about making sure the problems stay around so the politicians do. And yeah, I know that's a very fucking basic way of putting it, but essentially it's right, you know. Because if politicians came in and they actually solved stuff, there'd be no need for the politicians anymore. And when you've got career politicians, then you've got corruption rampant. Rampant. But that is, The Guardian is one of the biggest newspapers in the UK. And when you see that sort of, I don't know the best way to phrase it, because callous I don't think is the right word, but flippant, nonchalant type of post, dismissive almost post that refuses to truly address the reasons why. They're just posting their opinions. Well, good. Feel free to post your opinion, but be prepared for the consequence of that opinion. But I don't think they're ready for that. Well, they're finding out. They're doing the fuck around and they are finding out. And as a content creator that deals, predominantly the vast majority of what I do is pop culture. I've been trying over the course, I've done three videos in the last 3 days, but I've been trying to do with those videos is make sure that this tragedy has been seen from the perspective of the people who are working within those industries. The gaming industry, the comics industry. Because those people need to be fucking removed. They need to be dragged. They need a light shone on them. And these rats need to scurry. And it goes without saying that a lot of the stuff that we've seen is followed by the handle. I think that's what we call it online. The handle of Blue Sky at Blue Sky. That. Oh, by the way, who set up? Hey, chat. Let's have a quick pop quiz, shall we? Who set up Blue Sky? Let's have a little pop quiz. Let's see if people know who set up Blue Sky. I'm gonna have a drink of water. Ha ha ha. Exactly. Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey, the same person that set up Twitter, sets up Blue Sky, leaves it. Sets up this is the guy that when Elon Musk took over Twitter, changed it to X, tried to say, "Oh, I've been fighting for the rights of people for ages, blah blah blah. I have," and people just fuck off, Jack. Fuck off, dude. Nobody believes a fucking word you say. Sets up Blue Sky. Sets up an echo chamber for the weirdos. Fucks off. Jack can take it as personally as he wants him to. And just to have a platform where they speak so freely about that, they've every right to, but unfortunately, it does highlight a serious fucking problem. Because once upon a time, the freaks and the weirdos were locked away in their little chat rooms somewhere, doing their plotting and scheming and mental fucking illness shit. But now it's all out in the open because there's no fear. They have no fear. They are protected. They know that they are protected by government. They know that they are protected, for the most part, by all the extended arms of government, be it law enforcement. They know that they're protected by corporation. So that's why there's no fear. And a very clear message was sent this week. A very depressing message, not just because what I thought was a good man with his heart in the right place, but a very clear message was sent this week. And that was, we don't want conversation. We're not interested in conversation. So how can you try? And this is a legit question. How can you try to engage people that just don't want to talk to you? They just want you dead. How'd you do that? How do you do that? How do you try and engage people that just want you to shut up and die? But when we're online, of course, we see a lot of this craziness, and we've seen it in full effect this week. A lot of people wanting to show you who they truly are. I've said it for years. I'll say it to the day that I die, and that is when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Believe them. The mask has well and truly slipped right now. It's well and truly, it's full off now. It's full off. They got to live with themselves. They got to live with themselves. Mark Kern's done some really good work this week, collating information about people within the gaming industry that have been sounding off. Microsoft have made a bunch of firings. Where exactly? Not too sure. Because these companies won't make specific statements. They'll make generalized statements. We have they're essentially saying we have a code of ethics here, a code of conduct here, and if you breach that code of conduct, then there will be consequences. Square Enix, as far as we're concerned, that as far as we're aware, that person that I did a video yesterday on a person called Kate, who was a what do they call it? Translator, but it's another word, whatever. For Square Enix for Dawn Trial. As far as we're aware, they are still employed at the company. But when Gina Carano was fired, they made Localizer. Thank you. Yeah. Localizer. She's like a lead translator. As far as we're aware, still at the company. Square Enix, whichever way you say it, has not said anything. For now, yes. For now. But when Gina was fired, they made it really public and they made it really, disgusting. And they made it perfectly clear that it was Gina Carano was being fired. Now that it's on their side, inverted commas, we're just getting generalized statements. We're not getting statements of who, we're just getting generalized statements. We don't tolerate poopy pants stuff at this company, and we will look into it, blah, blah, blah. So we just get generalized statements. And I want to be as open as possible with you because, and this is, I can only speak for myself, but I imagine there's probably other content creators that are in the same boat. Is you do wrestle with the morality of what has happened when you're creating content about it. because you don't want to take advantage of a situation. At the same time, you want to shine a light on this fucking filth that needs to be removed from companies. They need to be removed from these fucking industries. And so, you know, from a moral point of view, you kind of wrestle with that. You do wrestle with that. I do think it's really important, though, that a light is shined on them, because we need them out. We do need them absolutely out. And there's a whole fucking Blizzard one that I need to go into. A whole fucking Blizzard one that I need to go into. It's crazy. Oh, I say crazy. I take that back immediately. It is Blizzard Entertainment, and it's absolutely expected. Because a couple of years back, when Blizzard were going through that whole inappropriate behavior towards employees, it all came out about the Cosby Room. Alex, what's his name, who was given a backdoor exit from the company, probably given a nice severance packet, had multiple complaints against him from people. What did Blizzard do? Did they make sure that, you know, these predators and whatnot were no longer going to be at the company? Oh no. The fucking multicolored fucking parade made it all about them. Yeah, he's enjoying his fucking yacht, his money, his millions of dollars, his yacht, you know. That's the one. Radu, that's the one. So, you know, he's I'm pretty sure having a great life. But the Alphabet Mafia decided it's going to be all about us, and they pushed and they pushed and they pushed. And now Blizzard Entertainment, oh my God, it looks like an absolute hotbed of fucking disease. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy times, chat. 2 secs. Okay. It's all gravy, baby. Oh. It's my dentist. After all that, my dentist just like, you're due an appointment now. Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to keep trying to shine a light on the people from these respective industries. And we'll let nature take its course. Silly as. Little bit coffee stained. Maybe get a little bit of a whitening job done at some point, you know. Yeah. I never had any work on my teeth in terms of straightening. This is all naturally straight. I must have the nicest natural teeth in Britain. I'm only saying. A lot of people, I'm not just talking about myself, there's a lot of people that are doing this, and it's great to see. A lot of people collating information, a lot of people shining the light on others. And you know, I'm here for that. I'm here for that. Well, that's cancel culture. I don't give a shit. Right for now, I don't give a shit, you know, because a man lost his fucking life. And a bunch of ghouls fucking cheered it and asked for more. So if we have to use the weapons of these fucking freaks back on themselves, so be it. So be it. But I would like to say that it isn't cancel culture. It's consequence culture. It's consequence culture. That's what I'd like to say. Now, we are building up some super duperies and some big ones are coming. So I will go through that momentarily and then we'll carry on. So, you know, that's the way that I view it. If you want to, I stand by what I've done online. Yeah. Whatever I've done I've never put my profile into private. I've never done anything like that whatsoever. My videos are there for all to see on my platform. I've never distanced myself from my Starfield rant because I believed every fucking word that I said in it aged like fine fucking wine. And I never backed down from it at all. In actual fact, more than happy to fucking carry on. I've made that opinion, I've stressed that opinion further and further in the last 2 years. I'm willing to live and die by what I've said. Now it's your turn. Now it's your turn. All right, let's go into a few super duperies. It's been a bit heavy today. I know a lot of you, when you pop in today, you know, we tend to pop in and have a bit of a laugh and a giggle and a point at silly stuff. And I know today's been really, really heavy with what's gone on. But I do think it is really important that that we kind of unite with this as well. Kev Goss has become a YouTube member. Kev, thank you very much indeed. And Way She Goes has been a member for 20 months. Thank you. It's just the way she goes, Bubbles. It's just the way of the road, Bubbles. Fuck off, Ray. Popcorn. I fucking love Trailer Park Boys, by the way. New series coming. A new series of Trailer Park Boys has been commissioned. But the bad news is the Red Dwarf special has been cancelled. Pop Culture Download, PD Storytelling has become a member. Thank you. Eves the First has been a member for 9 months. Eves, thank you. Go for Broke with the $5 says, hello, Az. I wanted to say thank you. Thank you, Gary, and the rest of the FNT on Friday. I needed that. RIP, Charlie. Yeah, it's always going to be difficult to even tackle that kind of stuff. Like, say, Friday Night Tights, it's normally a Romeo, divide that by 14 and that'll tell you how many stone. Divide it by 14, that'll tell you. So it's about 5-ish. About 5-ish. Yeah, you know, because Friday Night Tights we normally just muck about and dick around and whatnot. So you know, sometimes it is important. But we did, you know, we kept it, we tried to keep it as much on pop culture track as possible as well. But obviously some stuff just has to veer away from that. But thank you. No, appreciate Go for Broke. Appreciate you. The Raven on the writing desk with the 5 Canadians says, I took my parents to see Downton Abbey. Is it the same cinematic universe as The Gentleman? Sure, why not? Why not? No. It got cancelled. No, it got cancelled. Sorry. Okay. They were going to make UK Gold. We're going to make a 90-minute Red Dwarf special. And I don't know why, but it got cancelled. They announced that the 90-minute Red Dwarf special had been cancelled. So no, I'm using it in its actual terminology. So nobody's canceling Red Dwarf. It just there was going to be a 90-minute special, and it's been cancelled. Chris Barry's ill. Well, I mean, I hope he's okay. I love Chris Barry. Eve's the first with a 5 Brazilian says, I'll be going to England in 15 days for a 4-month stay in Berkshire. How many Americans read that and said Berkshire in their head? Are you going to confess in the chat? Are you going to confess your sins to me, chat? How many Americans, maybe people from different countries, read that as Berkshire? God bless you, chat. Love you. Berkshire. In the Berkshire area for historical research for a PhD. Interesting times to be visiting, huh? Oh, dude, you'll be fine. You're a foreigner. You're a foreigner. Plenty of people confessing their sins to me, though. The Big Albowski has been a member for 13. Big Albowski, thank you very much, dude. David. God, I cannot pronounce your surname, dude. Gvaldes. Gvaldes. Dude, I'm sorry, I butchered the shit out of that probably. It's been a member for a month. Says, hello, Az. Screw tea-hating Americans on Last FNT, right? Please share how to properly prepare and enjoy Earl Grey like a gentleman. I got the green leaves. Oh, well, if you've got the green leaves, you just want a strainer at the top of a teapot, boil a kettle, pour the boiling water over the tea in the strainer that goes into the teapot, let the tea strain, let the Earl Grey strain, and then you just pour it into a cup. There's no milk with Earl Grey. It's just you have Earl Grey on its own. No milk, no nothing. You just strain it. Swirl your pot. Always swirl your pot. Pour it, drink it. Boom. Got him. Snacks has been a member for 2 months. Thank you, Snacks. The Beast 808 has been a member for 33. Says, hello, my brother. I'm extremely grateful to be here and part of this fellowship, especially now. Remain blessed, everybody. You too, buddy. You too. Mikey Gussel with $2 is amazing. Atheist was celebrating Kirk's passing. Oh, well, I mean, I believe that guy's been desperately searching for relevance for years. Maybe he just sees this as an opportunity. Spoiler alert, you'll get none. You'll get none. Nobody gives a funny fuck about you. Brew Joe with the 5 Australian says, is this the warm-up from that plonker Bob Vylan celebrating Kirk's assassination? No idea what you mean, bud, but okay. Jim with the €2 says, not good enough to agree with them 99%. No. It's all or nothing. It's all or you're an alt-right Yahtzee. That's where the mentality is. Aaron Redacted with $100. Hey again, Az. Dude. Come on now. Way too kind. Hey again, Az. Hi. Thank you for doing your part in trying to save the West. I'm doing my part as well. Stay strong, everyone. Aaron, way too kind. Thank you so much, dude. Look, this, I tell you what, I'll give you a little bit of a red pill right now. I mean, there's been a lot of black pills floating around this week. I'll give you a little bit of a red pill. I think there's a lot of normal people, a lot of people who would probably consider themselves to be aligned with these others that have realized that they are a fucking freakish, vile, disgusting death cult. And they have moved their opinion away. I think that's evident from the fact that there's been so much pressure Because a few years ago, let's be honest, if this was 2020 and this happened, how many people do you think would be losing their jobs? None. I'd say none. Not even hyperbolic. I would say nobody would have. And here we are 5 years later, and corporations have been like, fuck, we need to get rid of these people. Now, I'm going to have to black pill the red pill slightly. These are the sacrifices. These are the people that they're willing to sacrifice. But the companies are absolutely infested with these types of people. They're just slightly more intelligent enough not to post this inflammatory stuff. So there's a lot more rot there. But if we can get them, we'll get them. Disillusioned Man with a $2 says, Guten Tag, you sexy Adonis. Drinking some Lady Grey. Okay. Lady Grey. Okay. Hey, chat. Hey. Actually, just before we carry on, just one other thing that I want to bring up as well. And this is actually something you should be very proud of seeing. In 2020, when a chap who died from a fentanyl overdose, and we saw the repercussions of that. We saw the riots, the looting, because that's what it was about. It was about looting and taking stuff. It had nothing to do. And we saw that, and we saw cities burn, and we saw statues being pulled, and we saw Portland turn into just the shitholest of shitholes and looting. When this happened with Charlie Kirk, was there that? No. Was there ever going to be that? No. Because two events happened, and the response to those two things should speak volumes about the people who are associated with them. We didn't see looting. We saw a lot of people in groups praying. We saw a lot of people in groups singing praises. Didn't see any looting, didn't see any rioting, didn't see any burning down. We see it. Believe you me, other people saw it. Yeah, candlelit vigils. A peaceful march. Look at that. I mean, yesterday's march in London wasn't about Charlie Kirk, obviously. It was about free speech in the UK. But I guarantee you a lot more people turned up because of what happened to Charlie. I guarantee you a lot people who weren't going to go turned up. And there was over 1 million people who walked through the streets of London peacefully. Meanwhile, oh, chat, I could say stuff that would get me fucking banned. Oh, I really fucking could. Boobies. Have a booby burp. Benjamin Fairhall with a 5 Australian says, the use of phobias as a pejorative has been going on for years, unquestioned by psychologists. Look, we need to stop. We need to stop normalizing stuff. Do you know why something's called abnormal? Because it's not normal. It's against the norm. And we need to stop celebrating mental illness and start treating mental illness. Not with hormones and fucking tablets and all that kind of shit. They need to be tackled up here first. But stop celebrating it and stop trying to normalize something which isn't remotely normal. And that's why there's so much pushback. Because you're just doing loopy shit now. That even normal fucking regular people are just like, nah, mate, this is insane. They went to such an extreme. Stop normalizing mental illness and start fucking treating it. Thomas Browman has been a member for 29, says, I think for a lot of people, the leftist reaction to this has been more of a wake-up call than the event itself. They are cheering on such a heinous act. I think, yeah, I touched on it earlier, Thomas. I mean, obviously this came through before I touched on it. But like I said, I think there's a lot of people that would think that they're more aligned with their politics, you know. Oh, I am a progressive liberal. And then they've just seen what's happened here. And they're just like, I don't recognize these people. This behavior is abhorrent. I mean, to me, it's an exercise in become unelectable. Become unelectable. Akujinskus, sorry for butchering your name. With a membership for 9, says people willing to speak to people that hate them is a true vulnerable minority. Well, Charlie Kirk went into the belly of the beast, and he went into the belly of the beast and he said, let's talk. Let's talk. And he had radical, he had complete and utterly radical ideas like family and Christianity, that radical kind of crazy stuff. And yes, there are certain things that he disagreed with that other people might. He disagreed with gay marriage. You might agree with gay marriage. That's called having an opinion. But he'll talk about it with you. And he'll have a chat with you about it, and he'll do it in a respectful way. Always did. But when you go and you want to talk, and you give people a microphone, and you give them the ability to engage you one-on-one, and you get a bullet for your troubles. It's people who don't want to talk. They don't want their worldview challenged. Because if they had their worldview challenged, I think for a lot of them, it would fall apart. And I don't think they're prepared for that. I really don't. But we're living in insane times where we're just being classed as radical far leftists. It's mental. Dark Knight Rider with a $10 says, in 2015, terrorists attacked a leftist French magazine. Yes. Charlie Hebdo. Yes. For a Mohammed cartoon. Yes. The rallying cry used was Je suis Charlie. Yeah, I am Charlie. Now a conservative was attacked for his speech, I am Charlie. Yes. I remember that well because I remember Stephen Fry speaking out against that, condemning that attack. I think, was it 6 journalists lost their, or writers, whatever you want to see. 6 writers or so lost their life, I think, in that attack, something like that. But it kind of saddens me that I have to tiptoe around this. But we live in a civil, or we used to live in a civilization that would not in any capacity stand for that whatsoever. And now the UK, Europe is being overrun. And there are a lot of good people there. Don't get me wrong. I know some. There are some good people. But it's not the good people that you should be worried about. It's the radical people. And they're coming through as well. And they'll continue to come through. I don't think it's a radical opinion to say that if you are moving to another country, you should be moving there to integrate with that country's culture and way of life. Because not doing so and just trying to assert your own is not assimilation. It's trying to take over. It's trying to conquer. And that goes antithetical to the culture of that country. That's not a radical idea to have. I have no problem with people coming to countries that want to work, that want to integrate, that want to contribute. Got no problem with that whatsoever. That's not the conversation. But this conversation has been so disingenuously argued over years that it's become, oh, you're a fucking bigot, you're a racist, you're a this, you're a that. Because it's gatekeeping language. They're trying to shut you down. But when an organization comes through, should we just say organization? When an organization comes through that religious belief is not to integrate, not to assimilate, but to take over, then it's antithetical to that country. I don't think that's a radical fucking opinion to have. Like I said, there's good people. There is good people. I know them. I know. I have friends. It's not those that you're worried about. It's the ones that adhere to that doctrine. And 5% of a lot of people is a lot of people, by the way. Oracle of Doom 222 with a 1222 says Romans 12:21. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. I saw the oh God, I'm going to get emotional. Oh. I saw Erica's speech. I saw Erica's speech and my God, that woman she's impressive. That's an impressive woman. That was absolutely heartbreaking to watch. And the way that she conducted herself was insane. You've heard of turning the other cheek, you know? If you're struck on the face, turn the other cheek. And the absolute class of that woman. God bless him, man. Oh. God bless her and her family, man. Gorbs with a 10 says, all this reminds me of the film Die Well. A school teacher shows his class how easy it is to follow the word of the authority via practical activity, only at the end for one person to take it too far. Well, that's all it says. Well, I mean, look. I'll turn this off for a sec. We said this. I said this on Friday Night Tights. We've said it. we all have started to laugh off being called bigot, homophobe, racist, Nazi, white supremacist. We've all kind of like laughed it off because it's just they've destroyed the meaning of those words. Those words are meaningless. And they say it because they try to paint you as well exactly what they are essentially. But the problem is it's not us laughing it off. The problem is the people that listened on their side to this constant barrage of they're a white supremacist, they're a bigot, they're a homophobe. It's the people on their side who listened to it and believed and fully went into it. That was the problem. So us laughing it off now because it is just a joke. Oh, I got called a Nazi today. It must be a day ending in Y. But we weren't the issue. It was a call to arms to others. And those arms have been taken up again and again. My goodness me, look at the outpouring for the murder, for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Imagine what would have happened if that bullet had hit Trump just an inch to the right. Just imagine what would have happened then. Debate State await with the $5 says the profound sadness and rage I've been feeling this week has been taxing. I pray daily for all of us and humbly ask that you all pray for me. Love you, brother. Oh, no problem, dude. No problem at all. Dick Schnitzel with a 2 Australian says, hey, Az, from wow to now. Love you. Love your work from Australia. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you. From wow to now. I like that. 13 and a half years. Crazy. 13 and a half years later, man. Bizarre. Brass Monkey with a $10. Brass Monkey. Right back at you, dude. Love you, man. Ben from the Upside Down Under with a 6 Australian 90. Let's all remember to show this level of victim blaming next time a lady is attacked while wearing a risky outfit. Well, I mean, you know, that was that poor Ukrainian woman who was just sat on a fucking bus, just finished a shift at work and was knifed in the fucking neck by that. How many times have they been arrested? 14, 21 out on the street. They were dangerous. Arena, 14 times. And what does he say on camera? I got the white woman. I got the white girl, wasn't it? I got the white girl. He said it twice. She hasn't been forgotten. It's just been such a it's just been such a crazy week. She hasn't been forgotten. She won't be forgotten. Yeah, Raina Zarutska. She was just, she had escaped. She was in a Ukrainian refugee, escaping the war for a better life. And that happened to her. And the media, oh God, sorry. I could get so fucking mad. And the media didn't even want to report on it. They didn't even report on it. And can we just be fucking blatantly honest for a second? And the reason why they didn't report on it is because it was a black man that killed her. Because if it was a white guy, they would have been over that. All over that. You can't hate the mainstream media more. You really can't. They need to be torn down. They're not media. They're not news. They're propagandist outlets that are there to fucking feed people's minds, to indoctrinate them. They need fucking ripping down. Full of cowards. There is no journalistic integrity anymore because there are no journalists with integrity anymore. They're not journalists, they're activists. And they're fucking dangerous. Legitimately dangerous. Won't somebody think of the poor murderer? Doven Death with a $10 says, something has to be done about Hassan Piker. I don't know if they would be down for it, but do you think we could get Gary Drinker to use their connection to Piers Morgan to get mainstream attention? Hassan Piker's protected on Twitch at the minute. He's protected because the owner of Twitch bums him. He absolutely fucking loves him. That's why there's no repercussions for anything that he says. The guy who runs Twitch is a full-on, he's absolutely 100% behind Hassan. He's 100% behind Hassan. He supports and believes in everything that he fucking does. And he's come out and said, we need to get onto TikTok. We need to get onto TikTok and start to cultivate the minds of like 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds that shouldn't even be on the platform. That's what the fucking owner of Twitch has said. While he's perving at all the fucking thoughts on his fucking platform. He's fully on fucking board. He's fully on board. He's absolutely protected. Absolutely protected. That's why he can. And I did, if you saw yesterday's video that I did actually touch upon Hassan Piker calling for the streets to run red with the blood of landlords. This fucking champagne socialist fucking twat. He's a fucking capitalist if ever there was a capitalist. But he's absolutely protected. Protected. And he's a self-confessed propagandist as well. Self-confessed propagandist. But he's just a vile piece of fucking shit. And you see, when you get somebody as fucking radical as Hassan that calls for all of this, and they've said shit about Charlie Kirk in the past, and then things like this happen, and then they immediately want to fucking try and wash their hands with it all. And Destiny's no different. Destiny has called for a cleansing of the right, who said that he's fully on board with political violence to get rid of conservatism. And he was deemed the moderate voice of the left at one fucking point. They're all fucking vile. They're all fucking disgusting. And I'll tell you another thing, just on top of that, and none of them care. None of them give a shit. Hassan doesn't give a fucking rat's ass about what happened, probably secretly celebrating it. Same with Destiny. But it is people like that is hitting these tapped in the head weirdos, vindicating them. And then they're acting. They're acting on it. Mikey Gosler with a $5 says, I'm not surprised Christina Ricci's reaction to Charlie Kirk. She's a huge Amber Heard before even... I think that was meant to be fan. She's a huge Amber Heard fan before even after the trial where Johnny Depp won. Christina Ricci can go fuck herself in the ass. There's nothing more dumb than a dumb fucking actor. Besides, what the fuck has she ever done recently? Nothing. Dawnbreaker with a $10 says, the problem with conservatives is that they never act. They always say, don't you cross that line. Then when the left crosses that line, they just wag their finger at them. it's Dawnbreaker. It's a very provocative situation because I guarantee you a lot of people want this civil war. And I'm not talking about people in America. I'm talking about people whose vested interests are outside of America. They want the country destabilized. They want the country at war with each other. They want the division. They want the anger. They want the clashes. They want that. Destabilize the country. You destabilize the economy. You destabilize that economy. Oh, another economy rises up. Which one would that be? Oh, China by any chance? Would it be China by any chance? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Just musing, chat. Just thoughts and musings. Joseph, the Gamer 15 with a $10 says, what do you call people who say you're just as bad as the people celebrating Charlie's death because you blame the left who demonize Charlie as racist or fascist for disagreeing with their worldview? Oh, Joseph, I'm trying to put this into something that I understand. What do you call people who say you're just as bad as the people who are celebrating Charlie's death because you blame the left? What, you mean the gay guy who the assassin who went to university, got together with a trans man, started writing fascist and stuff like that on his bullets and then shot and killed a man? Does that sound like a fucking right winger to you? Anyway, who blame the left, who demonize Charlie as racist or fascist for disagreeing with their worldview. I'll be honest, Joseph, I'm not quite sure what you're trying to say here. I didn't kill anyone. I didn't celebrate anyone's death. I didn't call for the deaths of other people. I didn't call for a genocide of the left. I think I've been pretty specific by saying you have the right to say what you want to say. I've also said you've every right to criticize Charlie Kirk if you want to, but you've got to live by the consequences of what you said. Your First Amendment right doesn't protect you from your contract with a company. And if you breach the contract of the company, their code of conduct, their code of ethics, that's your problem. They've got every right to say what they want to say, but it doesn't mean it doesn't come without consequence. I'm not calling for anyone's death, murder, genocide, cleansing. But I'll sure as hell shine a light on the fucking people who are. And if you think one equates to the same as the other, we're already living in La La Land, so we can't get any further into it. Chris1306 with his 70s Argon says, what most of the people celebrating this don't get is that if there is an escalation, then this will happen to someone on their side as well. They're literally acting as if there's no fallout to this. Well, put it this way. I don't know if I don't think there is actually a moderate leftist anymore. Certainly not from what I've seen. But if there was a retaliation, inverted commas, and let's just say, and I'm not going to invoke names because I don't want to put this on anyone, because as much as I've said that I won't mourn the loss, I won't celebrate it, I won't mourn the loss, and I certainly won't be ghoulish enough to go onto social media and post retarded shit. But if somebody from the left, a commentator from the left, was assassinated, then I think the likelihood is that this is a organized scheme by an outside party to get America fighting internally. China. Okay. So yeah, I was speaking behind this. I won't say who with, because I don't want to drag them into this. But I was speaking with some people about this, and they were saying, "Oh, you know, this puts a target on all the right, you know, all the perceived right wing, whatever you want to call them, pundits, whatever." And I said, I think I said if there's another death, I said I think it's going to come from the left, because I think it's going to happen to the left, because I think if it does, then that's going to show a pretty much it's going to show that an outside force is orchestrating this to get America to try and force a civil war within America. That was my opinion. They thought it was going to be another right winger. I thought it was actually going to be a left winger. Remember, World War I was ultimately started because of the assassination of Franz Ferdinand. It just takes one domino to fall, and the rest could come down with it. And if that does happen, and I pray to God it doesn't fucking happen, I really truly do, then to me it would say it's external forces at work. Aaron Charman with a £10 says, when words like racist, fascist, and Nazi are used recklessly on social media, we should remind people that this dehumanizing talk is what led to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I absolutely agree, Aaron. I touched on, again, this probably came through, but I touched upon it earlier. We kind of laugh it off. We kind of laugh it off now, but the point is, it's not us that they're talking to when they're calling us Nazis and fascists and homophobes and bigots and transphobes and blah, blah, blah. It's not us that they're talking to. It's their own people. It's plowing it into their own people. Get them indoctrinated. Get them indoctrinated. Tick, 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 tick. And then boom happens. And then it was only was it Friday or Saturday? Some retarded Democratic politician was on stage giving a speech to somebody, and again called Trump something like the biggest threat to democracy in the West again. They're all fucking retarded. So you're not transphobic? No, I'm not scared of trans people at all. But there again, 99% of them aren't. It's just a fashion statement to them because it's fucking trendy. It's been co-opted. Like I said, the LGB was co-opted after the T was entered into the equation. And now that they're trying to get rid of the B, they're trying to get rid of the bisexual, that they're under attack from within. Pick a side, they say. Pick a side. But of course, the reason why they're going after the bisexuals is because bisexual's problematic to them, because bisexual means there's only two genders. That's why bisexual's always targeted in the LGB. It's because there's only two. It means there's only two genders. Tosh Ferratu with a $5 says, the architects of cancel culture are reaping what they sowed. This is always the final result of setting terrible precedents. I agree. I absolutely agree. This is why, like I said, this is why to me, this is not cancel culture. This is consequence culture. This is a consequence of what you posted. And I'll sleep perfectly well. Thank you. Teflon Dong with a $5 super sticker. Teflon Dong, thank you. Great name, by the way. Dawnbreaker with a $10 says, that's how we got to where we are. Conservatives keep wagging the finger until it's too late. Now people are getting unalive for words, and not just Kirk. It's been happening for years now. It has. And who's in power in America right now, Dawnbreaker? Which party's in power in America right now? The more things like this happen, a bigger light gets shone, and the more people walk away. That's what happens. And I guarantee you, from what I've seen, I didn't know the man by any stretch, but from what I've seen of Charlie Kirk, the last thing that he would want would be retaliation and violence. Because when Charlie was asked why he does this, he replied, because if we stop talking, that's when violence starts. And so he didn't want violence. He never called for violence. He wanted discourse. He wanted discussion. And the more that they act like this, and the more they make martyrs of people, the more people will walk away from the other side. It's truth. And I know it's frustrating, and I know it's raw, and I know it gets to you. I know. But one side, or what, let's just say one group of people, the normal people, are very different than the other. Sula Felix with a 2 Australian says, the dangerous people that should never have power. Well, let's see if they ever get elected again right now. Jack Chipper with a $5 says, remember when Alex Jones became homeless because he said Sandy Hook is a hoax? Oh, waiting. He's still out there making money, and Trump is the me guy. Whatever that means. Tyron Draken with a 24 months says, these people are sick in the head. How are you doing, Az? I mean, look, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. It's, you know, it's heartbreaking stuff. It is heartbreaking stuff to see. But you know, just seeing, like I said, seeing the response from America, which was just, that woman is impressive. Very, very impressive. Seeing the absolute outrage of the pigs who have started posting, seeing people show you who they truly are, showing the world who they truly are. I know it's small mercies. I know it's small mercies in what's been a very difficult week, but these are small mercies. These are wake-up calls. Believe you me, there's been a huge, huge wake-up call. AFK Bard with a 20. Hey, dude, I haven't seen you for fucking ages. How you doing? Sending love to everyone this week for all their ugly faces this tragedy has unearthed. 1K more are rising up and carrying on Charlie Kirk's messages. Keep fighting the good fight. Yeah, there will be people that will pick up the microphone because of this. He's been AFK. There will be people that will pick up the microphone, and there has been a shift, Noons. There has been a shift in the air, a big shift. We want these. I tell you what, the media. That's the target. That's the next target. That the media, the mainstream media, needs to be gutted, absolutely gutted, as an institution, not as a person. Hassan, who called for the guts to be ripped out of their enemies, because he's a fucking absolute fucking raging dickhead. Lysander Harris with a $10 says, not a fun game channel then. Not today, but we're pop culture. B-Chain315 with a $5 says, love your eyes, and I hope and pray both our countries can be reclaimed by normalcy, decency, and morality once more. We're on the path. Charlie's with us. Well, the UK does have a huge problem. It's called the Labour government. We need to get that out. But unfortunately, they're only a year in to their 5-year term, and I think they're going to try and hold on to power for dear life. But we need to get Starmer and his fucking vile pieces of shit out. Out. Too Tired with a $5 says, the only thing we should be celebrating is that Charlie Kirk was saved by Jesus Christ and he will have everlasting life with our Lord. He is not lost. He's not lost, and he will be remembered for always. For the tragedy of his assassination, they created a martyr. They did. And that will have a big effect going forward. A big effect. You can't kill an ideal. You can't. David Hogg with a 2 Australian. Thank you, David. Paquet Abbott Gabriel with $100 Canadian. Just putting that caveat. Paquet, massive thank you. Being in the French side of Canada, did not know who Charlie was. Yet one of my leftists was happy he got. Ugh. Straight up told him that the day he faces a pistolet, he would pray to have one too. Now that I know what's up, I see that colleague for what he is, a demon. As I've said, nobody's asking you to if you weren't a fan of Charlie Kirk, if you didn't agree with him, nobody's asking you to post praises online for him or whatever. Nobody's asking to do that. People are making their own decisions to post the vile stuff that they're posting. That's them. They're making their own decisions to do so. And again, I don't want to come across as hypocritical. I want to come across as completely open. Like I said, there are people who I wouldn't mourn if they were gone. But I wouldn't be a hideous ghoul and celebrate it. Because that would make me just as bad as they are. And that's where you do have to turn the other cheek. That's where you do have to rise above. But yeah, there's been a lot of demons out there. A lot of fucking demons, mate. David Hogg with a 5 Australian says, I don't know why I feel so angry about Charlie's early retirement. I didn't agree with him, but may God receive him in a love and embrace. You didn't have to, David. You didn't have to. But I think by the sounds of it, you understand that this isn't the way that a civilized fucking society continues. When a man that wants to at least talk to you gets shot and killed, that probably says that he was saying too much truth. But like I said, when you try and silence somebody, then you're saying that you fear what comes out of their mouth. You're scared. You're scared of what he's going to say. You're scared of truth which will come out of his mouth. Scared that it might destroy your worldview. And you might actually have to, maybe for the first time in your fucking life, not you, David, just in general, think. Think for once. Kryptonian Jedi has been a member for 36. Thank you, Kryptonian Jedi. Wasp69 with a $10 says, normies don't fit their dialogue. We don't fit what they think we should be. Instead of dialogue, they want to take us out. All of us normies are targeted. Make no mistake, they mean harm. They do. They want us dead. Remember, how many years ago? It wasn't that many years ago. It's like 2 or 3 years ago that they were saying, straight men need to date trans women. Otherwise, it's transphobic. No, we're not gay. No, I don't want to date a trans woman because I'm not gay. We do not have the same belief system, okay? You say it's a woman, it's not. It's a man in a dress. Most of them still with their appendages attached because it's a fetish. It's not they're trans, it's a fetish. They've fetishized it. That's what they've turned it into. And it's been allowed to happen. Yeah, normal thinking people do not coexist with this insanity. Men in women's sports, men in women's dressing rooms, changing rooms, toilets, private places where they're vulnerable. Children being mutilated, put onto all kinds of medication, puberty blockers, yada, yada, yada. Normal people, to them, it's insanity. The two do not coexist. Normal, crazy, do not coexist. DB with a £2. It isn't a newspaper, as it's not even toilet paper. I could agree with you there, mate. I'll agree with you on that. Refan with a £5 says, problem is for people like yourself who does not want to be interested in politics is that politics is very interested in you. I agree with you there, mate. Politics wants to rope everybody in. But I can't think of anything, like I said, more boring than politics and more insidious than politics, to be honest with you. I like my fucking Transformers. I like my toys. I like my pop culture. I'm happy there. Politics is a cesspit. It's a cesspit. But yeah, you are right, though. I might not be interested, but it's very interested in me. Because everybody's got to be fucking dragged into politics. Everybody. DB with a £2 says, never wanted free speech. They want me speech. Well, the problem is with free speech is, well, not the problem, the beauty about free speech. The problem for them with free speech is that they're going to hear things that they don't want to hear. And things that they don't want to hear could shatter their worldview, as we've discussed. Because it isn't about conversation, it's about capitulation. So yeah, the people who claim free speech is under attack are those very same people that are actually trying to censor free speech. Because under attack means the things that I'm saying, they're saying different stuff. Stop them. Free speech for me, but not for thee. That's why so many ghouls posted what they posted online. Because they knew they were safe. Or they thought they were safe. They got fucked around and found out. It's always projection. It's always projection and gaslighting. Hammerhead0079 slamming a Benjamin. Did I get it right? Slamming a Benjamin on the counter, walking away. Hammerhead, thank you so much indeed, dude. Nothing said, just slammed a Benjamin on the counter. Turned around, walked off. Adjusted his fucking nut sack before opening the door. Because it was that fucking big. It's all about the Benjamins. Hairukami with a £5 says, I prefer Ricky's take on it. Just because you're offended doesn't make you right. Well, correct. A person chooses offense. A person chooses to take offense. Offense isn't a blanket. Isn't a blanket thing. A person chooses to take offense. I heard that. I have chosen to be offended by that. Some people will be offended. Some others won't be offended by it. So an offense is something that you personally choose to take or not take. Particularly with the people who are happy to laugh at everything, but if it's something that they perceive to be directed at them, then they'll get butthurt. And they're the worst. Oh, you can't make jokes about this. You can't make jokes about that. You can't make jokes about the other. Why? Aren't we all subjects of ridicule? Look at Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle makes jokes about fucking everybody. White people, black people, men, women, trans, disabled. Jokes about everyone. Look at Ricky Gervais. Same. He'll do the same. You want to take yourself seriously? Don't be a fucking clown in the first place then. Because you can't take yourself seriously with all that fucking clown makeup on. Now let me tell you why it's fine to have children at 3 years old go under the fucking knife because they are they decided they were this gender. You know. Yeah, shut up. Narvask with a £2. Thank you, Narvask. Appreciate you. Lee Cranmer with a $50 for consequence culture, right? Consequence, mate. Consequence. DB with a £2 says hashtag as was right. The Roach King confirmed it. Total bald victory, didn't he say? Total bald victory. Look, the thing, just to go back to Lee, the thing with consequence culture is all we're doing is just shining a light on what they said. Nobody's like going, oh, you did it. Oh, no, I didn't do that. You did it. No one's saying that. All what they're doing is we're just showing the world what you decided to post, what you decided to endorse, retweet, that's all. You want to get mad? Get mad at yourself. Hey, Goga, how you doing? DJ Ryan, Mr. Rage Quit, has been a member for 26 months. The DJ Ryan, Dark Side Phil? Confirmed. Mad Dog with a $5 says, as an American here, what was the protest about? The news say it was organized by the UK version of Alex Jones. It was about free speech in the UK. Essentially, it was a march against, I'm slightly editorializing, but it was a march against the Online Safety Act of 2023. A lot of people in the UK are being arrested and jailed, by the way. Arrested and jailed for online posts. Police are going around knocking on fucking doors, questioning people about things that they've said. This person said that you said that, and this person could take offense to that. And if we can arrest you under the what is it? Public disorder or whatever, something along those lines. There's a shot of the police. The police no longer have to justify an arrest. No longer have to justify an arrest. And it says like public disorder, stuff like that, is now open for interpretation, i.e., they can twist it to be exactly what they want it to be. It's a whole nebulous thing. It's always in flux. It's a whole nebulous thing. So essentially, we're getting fucking, we're getting just pulled out for words. An old man had two policemen question him because a scientist who was waiting at a restaurant called the police and said that I was told by a patron to speak English. And then when the police came, the police actually, they responded to that, by the way. That is the stupidest thing. Not only did the police respond to that, but the police went and questioned the old man, and his wife said, he said, can you speak up? Because he's fucking partially deaf. And the police are just like, we're just following orders. We're in the Nuremberg defense here. We're just following orders. Is this why you became a police officer in the UK? To arrest people for fucking tweets? Because Karen got offended that somebody called... A man got arrested for calling... This is a couple of years back, but it's when the Safety Act came through. Man got arrested for calling a woman a muppet. He was arrested on a public disorder. Calling a woman a muppet. Is it illegal to call somebody a muppet? Well, only a muppet would say it is. Speech is being quelled in the UK. The politicians have just only recently come out and said that the rights of immigrants trump the rights of the UK citizens. We have less rights in the UK than some fucking person who just gets over on a boat and arrives on the shore. This is what the government have said. Our free speech is under a fucking attack. And Starmer came out yesterday and went, or some politician came out yesterday from the UK and said, well, the march shows that free speech is alive and well in the UK. No, it shows that you can't tackle 1 million fucking people walking the streets. That's what it showed. Because if you did, good fucking luck, you would have found out. But they marched peacefully. And there was no way you could have done shit about it. So ultimately, Mad Dog, it was about that we're living in Orwellian times in the UK. And I don't say that flippantly at all. Because we're all being taken to the gulags and we're all being taken to room 101 right now. And when your government, like I said, when your government tells you that you have less rights than an immigrant, not even an immigrant, because these are economic immigrants. They just want the money from the UK and then send it back home. They're not asylum seekers. They're not running away from any genocides. They're economic refugees. They got more fucking rights in the UK than you do. That's not a government that I want in. I mean, I didn't vote for this government either. This ain't the government I want in. Get him out. Out. Starmer's a fucking clown. And he's got a fucking clown. He's got a fucking circus of clowns with him. They're all Muppets. You're going to arrest me for that, Starmer? Gregory Brown with £100. Again, just slapping a hundo on the counter. Turning around, walking away. Fucking baller. Crimson Shadow with a £3 super sticker. It's got to be a fist bump, Crimson Shadow. Gregory again. Gregory, massive thank you, dude. That's crazy. That's GBP right there. Better get that fucking cashed and turned into US dollars before it fucking loses, depreciates. Zach Muffin with a membership for 13 says RIP Charlie and Arena. Thank you, Silverback chat and the extended YouTube family for being light in the dark. Treasure one another and put demons to the sword. Yeah. Love your families. Hug your families. But there's a change coming, dude. W Nanas with a $5 says Tyler, the guy who shot Charlie Kirk equals terrorist. Yeah, domestic terrorist, correct. Tyler, support equals support of terrorism, correct. It was domestic terrorism. It was an act of domestic terrorism because they were an American citizen. Alex Belfour with a $5. Charlie Kirk gone and the Guardian worrying that honest accounting of his life have not only become rare, they've also become dangerous. I told you, you can't hate mainstream media enough. You can't. You can't hate mainstream media enough. Wow. How do you pronounce this? Rochtier with a €10 says, hi, Az, greetings from Northern Westphalia, Germany. It's easy for me to say. Easy for me to say. Just voted blue in our local elections. Did you go on the march yesterday? By the way, I'm a woman. I'm a woman. One of the old-fashioned ones. What? You're not? Oh, not one of the new ones with beards and dicks, as Ricky Gervais would say. Lol. I wasn't at the march yesterday. I was here. I was actually working yesterday. I did a video, hit the gym, did a gaming stream. But it was wonderful to watch. I saw a lot of footage of it, and I was amazed at how many people turned out. I was amazed. It was great to see. I don't know if this person wants their name mentioned because it's come through on PayPal, but I just got a £100 PayPal from PH. PH, I'm not saying your name just in case you don't want it said out. Not wanting to dox you, dude. But £100 PayPal from PH, who says, afternoon as Unite the Kingdom, rest easy, Charlie Kirk, and Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton, boxer, was unfortunately found dead, age 46. There's no suspicious circumstances surrounding that. And he was actually, he was meant to be making a comeback later this year. At 46, that's a long time. But he was a great boxer, Ricky Hatton. Great boxer. Roller Coaster with a membership for 35 says, hey, lads, German state media said unaliving is never okay, but you notice how a lot of some people have, I've seen this from a few people. This isn't okay, but he did say this and he did say that. You are literally excusing a man being fucking killed. But Charlie was all the ists and phobes, great journalism. I want to leave. Yeah, you can't hate mainstream media enough. You can't hate them. You can't hate them enough. Mad Dog with a $5 says, it has Mark Ruffalo, but I highly recommend Task on HBO. It's a miniseries from the point of view of criminal and FBI. Amazing so far. Okay. Cheers, Mad Dog. I'm currently rewatching Dexter. I've just finished season 2. I'm into season 3 again now. That's been great to watch, by the way. Logan Johnson with a $20 says, I love a good laugh, even at the most twisted things, but it's amazing to see how many people are becoming united in these tough times. Keep up the good work, and always, brother, stay blessed and hail TPB. Trailer Park Boys? Same to you, Logan, man. Same to you. Dexter Resurrection, if you didn't see it, by the way, Dexter Resurrection was excellent. I loved it. I loved it. Dexter Resurrection was really good. A true return to form for Dexter. Because that, what was it? Was it Dexter Bloodlines or whatever it was? The one before? New Blood. Dexter New Blood. That wasn't very good. That wasn't very good. But Resurrection has been amazing. Dubby Nanas with a $5 says, if you support Charlie Kirk's death, you support terrorism. Domestic terrorism, yeah. Spinwood gifting 50 memberships to the stream. Spinwood. Thank you so much indeed, dude. How you diddling, man? Thank you so much. That's crazy. 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 Michael C. Madden with a 5 Australian says, the assassination of Charlie Kirk created a political singularity. The future is impossible to predict. Adults need to adult again. Well, this it's not just adults that need. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. We need to stop pandering to fucking weird shit. It's not stunning and brave. It's not progressive. It's quite the opposite. It's regressive and destructive. Now, if that's your philosophy, if that's actually what you're trying to do, you're pushing more and more people away. And that extreme, which has been sort of normalized for so long, will shrink and it'll shrink. And that extreme will become that extreme. Meanwhile, that will become the norm again. But yeah, we need to stop pandering, particularly to mental illness, and start treating it. We need to get rid of these indoctrination camps of education. We need to get rid of these doctrination camps of fucking mainstream media. It needs to be torn down. Torn down. There's a poison. There is a poison in the West right now. James LaRue with a membership for 6 says, my birthday was Wednesday. Oh, happy birthday. What a day for you. I love you, Az. I hope the events shake off the apathy and we move into a better future. Till all are one. Hail. I mean, it's lit a fire under a lot of people's bellies. I mean, it lit a fire under my belly. You know, I sort of moved, not away, but I was, you know, my videos were more, my videos have become more just dealing with TV shows or maybe having the odd poke here or there at something. But, you know, it become pretty tame. And then, you know, this just lit a fire. And I was just all in on, we need to fucking get these people out of these industries. We need these ghouls out of these fucking industries. Quick. Lo-Fi Ink Blot Beats with a $5 says, honored but not forgotten. May the flames of freedom burn brighter and no kind voice be silenced. God bless his family and friends. Hail, chat and Az. Hail to you too, buddy. Will with the $5 says, turning the other cheek only works for so long. We've turned the other cheek so much we have whiplash. Things have changed. Oh, whoa. Again, just feel the shift in the air from this. Big shift in the air because of this. I think this has been a huge wake-up call to a lot of people. A lot of people have seen that we're not dealing with normal people here. We're dealing with nut jobs, absolute fucking nut jobs. Spinwood with a 10 Canadian says the far left drained words like bigot and Nazi of all meaning. Now they just sling them at regular people asking simple questions like weaponized bullshit to shut you up. Like I said, Spinwood, I don't think these words are for us anymore because the water off a duck's back. I think these words are being used to radicalize and consistently indoctrinate and hammer home to their side, to the vulnerable fucking tapped in the head weirdos on their side. This is why we need to destroy them. They're bigots and Nazis and transphobes and homophobes. It's more of a war cry to them because to us it's water off a fucking duck's back. Ed Song with a $5 says there's a story going around that she had recently bought a car and would have not been on the public transit if it were a few more months. For Arena. I mean, she shouldn't even have to be in fear in a public transport. You shouldn't have to be in fear in a public fucking transport on a bus. I hope he gets exactly what he fucking deserves. My fear is that 14 times you never fucking know. Neurodivergent Dan has become a member. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate you. Gonzo Sean has been a member for 2 months. Says Doug Naylor shopping around for a new broadcaster for the Red Door special. Fingers crossed. Okay, thank you, man. The Tinkerbell 1611 with a 7 Canadian says, asking this in good faith because I agree with you. How would you compare these firings to what happened with Cara? Is she an example of consequence? I wouldn't say so, no. I would say that I need to see exactly what Cara said because it's been a while, so I haven't seen, I can't remember exactly what Cara said. But the things that Cara said were like 5 years in the past. And I think they just had something to do with not being on board the trans train. You know what I mean? From what I can recall, like I said, I need to see the exact wording of it. So her tweets were like dug out from years gone by. Hers wasn't like an immediate reaction. This, yeah, the excuse. I think that was all an excuse because of the Harry Potter stuff. So that was just used an excuse to get rid. Cara is one of our Sunday Fun Day crew. Cara Lynn, she used to work at Limited Run Games, and then she was fired from them for problematic tweets. So, yeah, I'd say that we're talking about two very different things here. Gorbs with a £10 says, for clarification, Die Well, The Wave, is a German film. It starts with the question, how could smart people follow Mustache Man? And ends with one student pulling a gun because he was radicalized. Doesn't take much, does it, by the looks of it? Red Coat Raccoon has become a member. Thank you. Or gifted a membership, I should say. Thank you, Red Coat. Appreciate that. Gifting a membership to the stream. Calioth with a $5 says, since Amazon owns Twitch, Twitch revenue is nosediving. And Hassan, what are the odds the site gets written off and shut down versus MSNBC'd? I don't know. You are right. Amazon does own Twitch. And it looked like at one point, Amazon were actually going to shut it down. But it stayed open. And I don't know what the relationship is between Amazon and the CEO of Twitch, but something tells me they're probably more in a line with each other than not. So I wouldn't expect Twitch to be shut down or anything like that. But if Hassan is the type of person that Twitch is brewing, creating. But what happens? They shut down Twitch. Hassan, where does Hassan go? YouTube, Kick. He'll just go and grab another platform. Spinwood with a 10 Canadian says MSN and far left don't know the first thing about accountability. They'll twist, spin, and flat out lie, going to any length to bury the obvious truth and act like you're the crazy one for noticing. Worse, not you're the crazy one. You're the bigot. You're the big poopy pants. And if you think this, you're a big poopy pants. You're the problem. If you thought this, you noticed this, you're the problem. But mainstream media, like I said, I keep saying it, but you can't hate them enough. Dawnbreaker with a $10 says, wasn't talking about the war. I was talking about the laws and holding them accountable. Take Antifa Trump did almost nothing about them in the first term, and he did almost nothing about big tech either. I don't know American politics, mate. You're barking up the wrong tree here, mate, I'm afraid. The Toon Salon with a 14 Zargon says, any fall from the left or right and it will kick off. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But I think there's forces at play here that are pushing stuff. Jack has been a member for 29, says a commie politician in Poland said today that we shouldn't talk about Charlie Kirk because that's in the US. It was found that he was a big George Floyd fan. What? Of a fentanyl addict that was a criminal that pulled a knife on a pregnant woman. What a lovely man he sounded. One fan with a $5 says, I'll give you Berkshire. Now say Slough. Slough. It's pronounced Slough. Paladin Knight with a $10 says, I've been watching the clip of Superman versus the Elite when Superman confronts Manchester Black, telling him, you cannot go around murdering people and call yourself a hero. If only the left understood. If they never will. They never will. Westfield 90 with a $5 says, our side is great at talking, but unless our side starts voting in all elections and our politicians actually act, then nothing changes. No, no, I tell you what, Westfield, you're absolutely right there, because there's been a lot of apathy going on, including myself, by the way. Including myself. Because in the last general election, I didn't even vote at all, because I just saw nobody to vote for. The Conservatives are absolute fucking useless. The Labour Party were absolutely fucking useless. Reform had no momentum, clout, just infighting. So I was just apathetic to it all. Now, this is a massive wake-up call to fucking vote. And vote hard. If that's actually possible. But yeah, this is a wake-up call to fucking vote. Get them out. Get them out of here! JM on the PayPal side for £4.15, probably €5. I say JM again, don't want to dox you, mate. Don't want to dox you. Just in case. In Portugal, the crime rate elevated with the coincidental foreign doctors and engineers, but the Portuguese people are opening their eyes. Condolences to Kirk's family. Hope one day to see you around Porto in Portugal. A Franciscan on me when that happens. Cheers, dude. Appreciate that. Whatever that is, whatever drink that is. Appreciate that. Boom. Joseph the Gamer 15 with the $10 says, sorry, Az, for my earlier super chat. I meant to say the left, who, mind you, they're demonizing Charlie as a racist or fascist because he disagreed with their worldview. Right. Okay. Gotcha. Well, it's to discredit. Joseph, actually, that would be really kind of me to say that. It's a food. Okay. It's more about discrediting. It's actually about the justification of the murder. That's what I think it's about. Because like I said, when somebody says, oh, it's terrible what happened, but he said this and this and this, or he was a big poopy pants. That first bit's the lie. The second bit is the justification for the murder. Nobody with condolences says but. Nobody. You're either sorry or you're not. And but says you're not sorry because here's my justification why I'm glad they're done. So it's a little bit more insidious. It's a little bit more insidious. Brocky Man with a $10 says, I'm conflicted on these firings because based on what I've seen, Charlie said he wasn't in favor of it. But it's also nice to see these idiots taste their own medicine. Brocky Man, he might not have. He might not have agreed with this. But you know what? You live by the sword, you die by the fucking sword. I live by what I've said. I've lived by what I've posted. You live by it, you die by it. And I regret nothing, by the way. Je ne regrette rien. Rook takes Rook with a $2 says, still jobless, but wanted to say thanks. Rook takes Rook. Don't super chat then, please. Keep your monies. Because $2, things like that, they add up. So it's not even that. Keep your monies, but thank you. Just post, say hello. Pokemon with a $5 says, looking great, Az. Keep up the good work. You got a nice figure now. Now both Jeremy and Geeks and Gamers and Quartering will be jealous. Now I got Pookie. I got a long way to go. Hikira with a $5 says, Metatron says there is no not but here. People saying what happened was bad, but when describing Kirk, what happened was bad. Full stop. Great video. Brilliant. We literally just said that. Literally just said that as well. Exactly. There's no but. There is no but. You either condemn it, you're either sad that it's happened. There is no but. But says the first part was disingenuous. The but says the next bit is what I really think. So yeah, you're absolutely 100% right there. The Toon Salon with the 14 Zargon says, my heart breaks for Erica and the girls as a father. It was really, really tough to watch that. It was really tough to watch that. And she was incredible. Absolutely, she was incredible. She's a way better person than I will ever be. Ever be. GBLP with a €5 says, Charlie Kirk's critics resemble the Borg in Star Trek. Individuality is lost. The independent thought is impossible. Well, that just sounds like far left politics. It is just an assimilation. We are the Borg. Diversity.
Diversity is our strength.
Gogo with 100 Swedish says, I can't say I was ever a fan of Charlie, but ultimately he was a force of good. The people celebrating his passing have lost their humanity. Remember, this happened because they're losing. Well, it happened because they feared what he had to say. That's why it happened. They were scared of what he had to say. They couldn't beat him. They couldn't debate him. They couldn't out-debate him, so they killed him. He went against their worldview, and they killed him. Zud with a $5 says, an LA county teacher is calling for millions more to die. This shows how far we've fallen. This person should be nowhere near children. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And they're not the first person to say that, and that's the scary fucking thing. Logan Cobbs Toussaint of the membership for 4 says, good morning, Az. Sorry, woke up late. We'll be catching up on the replay later. Hey, you do you, bud. You do you, bud. Good to see you, man. James Adams with a $5 says, they think morality is mind-dependent only in the relativistic sense. That's why their morals change like the wind. Well, the whole politics is fucking nebulous. This is just take, for example, the LGB. It just used to be the LGB. That's what it used to be. I fucking remember when the LGB was the LGB. Lesbian, bisexual, gay. And I use this as an example a lot because it's the easiest one to use. Because then it became LGBT. Then it became LGBTQ. What the fuck is queer? Queer is nebulous. Queer could mean anything. And do you know what queer meant? Queer meant that a bunch of fucking straight white women were jumping on board saying, I'm queer. Fucking flags ahoy. Can I be a minority now? Can I be a victim now? Awesome. Then it got QIA, LGBTQIA. What the fuck? IA? What? Who? What? Then it became LGBTQIA plus 2 spirited. What? Then you got the LGB saying, can the rest of you fuck off, please? And why did the LGB say, can the rest of you fuck off? Because the LGB is an orientation. And the others, they're not orientations. So now, let's just say it's been severely hijacked. And that is what you could just attribute to fucking far left radicals. It changes in a heartbeat. This is acceptable one day. The next day, it's no longer acceptable, and this has got to be the way. Then the next day, that's no longer acceptable. You got to go this way, further and further and further. But the more they do that, the more they lose people, and the more they alienate people. Yeah, the LGB, that's an orientation. The T onwards, they're identities. They're not orientations, they're identities. Very different things altogether. That's why you have the movement of the LGB without the T and all of that. And then you have the other. And that's exactly how their politics works. It changes and changes and becomes more nebulous and changes and changes. And your morality has to change around it immediately. Doc Possum with a $5 says, they have awakened a sleeping giant and filled him with a terrible resolve. Yes. They've definitely woken up. They've definitely woken up a lot of people. A lot of people. Miles O'Brien with a $2 says, this is the second Ottoman Empire in Britain. Ed Song with a $5. Mauler and Drinker never answered this. If a man gets snapped with a load, is he a gooner? If it reappears and releases it in another man, is he get? I have no fucking clue what you're talking about, Ed. If a man snapped with a load, what? I don't even know what that fucking means, Ed. What the fuck does that even mean? I'm actually pretty glad that I have no fucking clue what he's talking about. BS Warren with a $5 says, raise my spirits by watching some real BBC clips and realize we need an update. As, have you still not eaten crisps off a woman's hongers yet? I've never eaten crisps off a woman's boobies, no. Not crisps, anyway. Sinwave or Sinewave with a £10 says, I reckon Starmer should turn over his hard drives to an independent adjudicator. It's only fair that a leader show that they are held to the same standards as their constituents. Well, we all know that's never going to happen. Your girlfriend just called you gay. There's a good reason for that, Dan. You're gay. Bubba Doom with a 17-month membership. Thank you, Bubba Doom. Kai Curl with a €10 says, hi, Az. First super chat ever. Thank you very much. I wanted to say that Mrs. Kirk showed more bravery in a heartbreaking statement than all those celebrating her husband's death together. God bless her and her children. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, she's I could only dream of being as good a human as she is. The way that she dealt with it, her class, just nothing but absolute class. Yeah, just God bless her and her kids. Just heartbreaking stuff. Bubba Doom with a $5 says, as I've been wanting to ask you and Mauler about Sharp. Have any of you watched it? Sean Bean's excellent. It's good old TV. God bless America and the UK. Yeah, I never used to. I loved it. I used to watch Sharp all the time. It was excellent show. Excellent show. Sean Bean was, I think that's the only thing that Sean Bean appeared in that he didn't die. Kiki Chili Pepper with a £10 says, ads, you're a legend. Love you, sir, and God bless. Thank you. Appreciate you. Rook Takes Rook with a $5 says, my dear Azzy, my fiance is a leftist. We haven't spoken a word about Charlie. I don't know or what to do. She's a good person. I'm afraid to lose us. Well, you don't have to have a conversation about him. You don't have to have a conversation about him. You know, it's not a requirement. Nobody has to pledge fealty to this. Okay. There's no reason to have a conversation. If it's not a conversation, don't have a conversation about it. The fact that she's a massive lefty, no, but look, there's lefties and then there's far left weirdos. Okay. I think a lot of people still want to believe that they are hanging on the left because they still think more classically liberal, but there's a big difference between the two. But if it's not a topic of conversation, don't make it a topic of conversation. Kiki Chili Pepper has become a member as well. Kiki Chili Pepper, thank you. Matej has been a member for 23 months. Matej, thank you. Richard Warrow with a £5 says, hi, Az. Despite this horrible crime happening, I don't believe Charlie died for nothing. Now everyone can see who the left are, and that is true evil. Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of people, I mean, it's absolutely heartbreaking that a tragedy like this had to happen, but it has absolutely revealed the mask off on so many different people and shone a light on how infested industries are and organizations are. Teaching, for example, with vile people like this. And it says to us, they've got to be fucking gutted. They gotta be gutted. These organizations, not the people, Hassan, the organizations. There's a massive difference. You fucking terrorist loving piece of shit. Dr. Dasuke with a 200 Danish says, I just wanted to say, nice cock. Thank you. You can see it from there. More impressive than I thought. Ted Phoenician with a $10 says, Rhaegar fought valiantly, Rhaegar fought nobly, Rhaegar fought honorably, and Rhaegar died. In war, that's inevitable. This was a kind of a war, but it didn't have to be inevitable. X in Wonderland with a $5 says, I'll throw 5 more for Rook Takes Rook. Oh, thank you, man. But he went and did 5 more just a little bit ago himself. Naughty boy. Wasp 69 with a $5 says, my 4th instance of being with Az and his audience. Fantastic engagement and discussions. Fear God and God only. Rock on. We are winning. Thank you, Wasp. Appreciate you. There's a good group of people here. I know that I love them. DD67 with a 20 Brazilian says, Az, what do you think of the work of streamers like audits, etc., that go to migrant hotels and protests? I could see a lot thanks to them, but some think they cause trouble. Well, okay. My personal belief is I see no problem to that whatsoever. If people are coming into your country and they're taking over, whether it be hotels or areas where they're being housed, I think the British public has absolutely every right to know, because the British public is paying for this. Government is not paying for this because government doesn't have money. Government acquires money from these people, you, me. So when government pays for something, no, you have. You paid with your taxes. And so there should be transparency. And people should know how many of these hotels have been taken. People should know how many people have come over. Where are the resources going to come from to feed them, clothe them? What work are they going to be doing? Which jobs are they going to be in? People need to know that. Because if you have nothing to hide, then transparency should be okay. But the way that they're going about trying to ban people, because they've used the Online Safety Act of 2023 to ban people from posting these videos. Transparency. We're paying for it. Let us see. But they don't want to know. They don't want to tell you how many people are coming over. That's one thing. How much of our money's going towards this? Why should it be going to this? You're not part of the country. Why am I paying for you? Why am I paying for your accommodation? Why am I paying for your food? Why am I paying for your clothing? Why am I paying for your fucking iPhone or your Android? Because you get a fucking choice when you arrive. Why are we paying for fucking this? You're not part of the country. Go through the fucking due process. But apparently that's extremist. That's kind of extremist talk now. Are they an economic refugee? Where's their money going to go? Is it going to get sent abroad and not go back into the economy? Are they literally just a succubus on the UK? Are they adding anything to the country? Are they bringing any value add to the country? Or are they just taking its money and fucking sending it back abroad, back home? I don't think these are unfair questions to be asking. I don't think they're unfair questions to be asking at all. Joe Bus with a $20 says, currently the media in the States can legally tell falsehoods. Trump posted something yesterday indicating that he's interested in the Charlie Kirk Act, making it illegal to lie if you're a news media company. Well, ethically, just ethically, if you are pretending to be a news organization, then you should be as objective as possible. But they don't want objectivity. As a member of the UK, particularly when I started to see it, I couldn't even believe your news networks in America. Because our news networks used to be, I mean, they're changing radically, but they used to be just kind of straight down the line. This happened, this happened, this happened. There wouldn't be any editorialism. There wouldn't be any slants. And then you'd see you'd see Fox and CNN, you'd be like, how are these organizations allowed to fucking exist? They're clearly biased. So it was so bizarre seeing it. And now it's since 24-hour news, it's filtered more and more to us now, because now it's just about report. Keep people churning. Keep people watching. So as the great Denzel Washington said, so then it becomes no longer about being right. It becomes about being first. So you combine that with the biased. Whew. Ethically, you should be reporting as straight down the line as possible. Carl Anderson has been a member for 11 months, says, I have a co-worker friend, and she said, good. When I told her that Charlie Kirk died, she drank the Kool-Aid, and I don't know if it's worth arguing with her. She's not, Carl, she's not worth your time. Don't get yourself into any bother. She's not worth your time. She just told you who she is. Believe her. Believe her. Obviously, Icarus with a $20 said, it was really inspiring to see Erica both reverent and ablaze with righteous fury. The TP USA Turning Point USA website crashing from so much traffic, and the 18,000 new chapters is a much needed white pill. It's a wake up. It's an absolute wake up. It's a wake up call. The weirdos have shown who they truly are, and there's a huge wake up call now. And I don't know if this tsunami can be stopped, and I pray that it can't. I pray that it can't. Make normal great again. Hey, Soskers. Lo-Fi Ink Blot Beats with a $5 says, nothing someone says before the word but really counts. Ned Stark. When you stop being outraged by injustice, you need to rethink your priorities. Yeah. We've talked about this, Lo-Fi. Anybody that's saying this is bad, but the lie is at the front, the but is about to tell you what they really think. And what they really think is they're trying to justify the killing. So anybody that says this is bad, but it's that second part that's showing you who they really are. We're trying to get deniability by saying what we really think. Nah, fuck off. Go fuck yourself. Hey, the Yaira omnibus for the first 3 issues of Yaira has come out in the Rippaverse. So if you didn't get them and you want all 3 in a nice collective bundle, go to rippaverse.com. Go get yourself that Yaira omnibus. Issues 1, 2, 3. And Saints and Sinners, I think, is shipping in about 2 weeks, chat. In about 2 weeks, Saints and Sinners is going to start shipping. Very exciting times. DB with the £2 is the best rainbow with Zippy, Bungle, and George. Yes, yeah. That's the only rainbow for me. Shaky Owns has been a member for 13 months. Shaky, thank you. Little Dutch with €11 says, for something completely different, Fans Toys Berserk is pretty damn good. Dude, it's in my cabinet now. Can I hold on, can I just swing a little bit further across? Hold on. There it is. There it is in my cabinet, and it's amazing. I've got the decals on it now. My decals arrived. So I've put all the decals on the Stunticons as well, apart from the external ones to Motormaster, but I need to transform that. And then I'm going to be able to put Menasor together. Part 2 for Menasor coming soon. But yeah, Fans Toys, bueno stuff, mate. Nothing wrong, a little change of pace. Westfield, is that Chrome? Is your portrait? Is that Chrome? Westfield 90 with the $5 says, so frustrating. You have GOP on Sunday morning shows bringing up white supremacists while excusing the left, mad at our side voting for backstabbers. That's your lobbyist, mate. That's your uni. Yeah, it looks like Chrome Dome. Looks like Chrome Dome's. Yeah. Dude, that's your uni party talking. That's your uni party talking that are scared. They're like, hey, dude, politics is our job. It's our career. We need to get the uni party attacked. We don't like these people that are actually trying to make change. Can we stop that, please? Can we? No. Yeah, there we go. Right. Dawnbreaker with the $10 says, one thing to come out of this tragedy are the leftists genuinely asking, you're saying there's more radical people than Charlie? Yes, Charlie was a moderate that just wanted to talk, you crazy scumbags. Yeah. That's the sad fact. I will build, Dave, I will build Arkham Asylum on a stream. I will do it on a stream. I need to get a second, before I do the second Menasor stream, I need to get another webcam and arm so we can capture what's going on the desk. So I can have that there and that going down on the desk. So I need to sort that out. But once I've got that sorted out, we'll do that. And thank you, by the way, Dawnbreaker, mate, for your supers. Brett Lifers has gifted 5 memberships to the stream. Brett, thank you. Denmark Radar with a 50 Danish says you should only extend the courtesy of your values to people that share them. Well, I mean, I think, again, plenty of people have shown you that they're not even worth spit. They're not worth spit. They're not people that can be reasoned with, conversed with. They're gone. They're lost. So, yeah. If you think somebody is radical by wanting to engage you in civil discourse, something fucking wrong with you. Especially when you retaliate with shooting them and killing them. One is not the same as the other. Words are not violence. Communication is not violence. Murder's violence. Fucking dipshits. Isaac Ott with a $5 says the Democratic Party is a terrorist organization. The conversation is over. It's getting very difficult to disagree with that, man. And that catches us up. So actually, people had a lot to say. It's about time that you had something to say as well, chat. You know, you've heard us talk about it in quite a few streams now. You know, FNT, ripping the silverback. I've seen Ryan and Jeremy do streams here today. We've spoken about it. But it's about time that you had your tuppence halfpenny, as we'd say over here, worth today. So I'm going to be back in an hour's time with solo Sunday Fun Day because everyone else is in Chicago for a convention, and I'm going to be continuing Hell Is Us. So we're going to be continuing Hell Is Us for solo Sunday Fun Day. The room will go up in a minute when this stream ends. Massive thank you to everybody who came to watch today. Mods, thank you so much indeed for giving up your free time. And everybody who super chatted, membered, remembered, gifted memberships. There are a whole lot of you today. Thank you. And just thank you to the chat. Thank you for all of you for great discourse today. Great talking today. Because words aren't fucking violence. Words are how we communicate. Violence is when you don't want to communicate or you refuse to. And unfortunately, we've had a huge wake-up call to that this week, and it cost a good man his life. So I'll see you in an hour from now. Until then, you take care. Bye for now.